Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us here on the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Sarah Sanchez.
And I'm Brent Harden. Following 25 days of testimony, the state wrapped up its case in the Michelle Troconis trial.
But not before calling one last witness to the stand, Jennifer Farber-Dulos' mother. Fox 61's Julie LeBlanc has the latest.
Gloria, how are you related to Jennifer Farber?
She was my daughter.
Gloria Farber taking the stand as the state's last witness in the Michelle Troconis trial, speaking about her daughter and her grandchildren with a sense of pride.
How many children did Jennifer have?
5.
Those children sitting in the courtroom during Gloria's testimony. She's now their legal guardian. As for their mom,
Have you seen your daughter Jennifer since she failed to meet you at your apartment in New York City on May 24th, 2019?
No.
a fact the defense doesn't dispute. They did, though, file for an acquittal, arguing in court Wednesday the state didn't present enough evidence to prove each charge against Troconis.
It's speculation upon speculation upon speculation.
The state feels the opposite, saying a reasonable jury can make its own assumptions based on the evidence.
She talked about applying for a restraining order against Ms. Dulos. She discussed the fact that her relationship with Mr. Dulos was suffering as a result.
The judge ultimately agreeing.
The motion for judgment of acquittal is denied.
In the afternoon, the defense calling its first witness, Robert Haynes, the owner of a water skiing club Fotis Dulos and Troconis visited often. Haynes describing the police presence there the week Jennifer went missing.
The state police come in with dogs and they search the place with dogs, and then they put a boat in the water and they go over the whole pond with a boat looking for a body. It was awful.
As for how Troconis was behaving that Memorial Day weekend,
She was upset and she was definitely teary-eyed.
Haynes also references a dinner party which took place at Fotis' Farmington home the night before. Prosecutors allege Fotis killed Jennifer in her New Canaan home.
Was anything unusual about that dinner?
No.
The defense introduced another man at that same dinner party, Stephen Reich, who says Fotis seemed happy about the custody case with his children that night.
He was of the belief that things were getting better as far as the potential custody of his children.
The state questioning that demeanor.
What sticks out to me is the dichotomy of the positivity of that evening and what subsequently occurred.
Now, the defense plans on calling more witnesses to the stand tomorrow, including a memory expert. At this point, they believe they'll wrap up their case on Monday. We're in Stamford. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
The fourth and final vote for mayor of Bridgeport is less than a week away, and incumbent Mayor Joe Ganim just picked up some powerful endorsements.
Yeah, Governor Ned Lamont is supporting Ganim, but now a lot of people are wondering why he would get involved in a race that's been in the national spotlight for election fraud. Fox 61's Matt Caron went one-on-one with the governor.
From Lamont,
and I'm eager to forge a partnership with him,
to Lamont.
I support him.
Joe Ganim picked up big endorsements a week away from Bridgeport's fourth mayoral election in the last 6 months. An election that'll cost taxpayers another $125,000. An election that's only happening after a judge found ballot fraud committed by Ganim's supporters, including Wanda Jeter. The chief state's attorney's office is still investigating.
Have you checked in with the chief state's attorney's office on this?
I have a little bit. The wheels of justice are too slow. I think it's really important that you hold people accountable, and you hold them accountable on a timely basis.
So you'd like to see charges swiftly?
If merited, yes.
Do you think they are merited?
I think I'll let the courts rule on that.
Governor Lamont and Mayor Ganim have an interesting history. Ganim ran against Lamont for governor in 2018. Political foes turned friends.
I've worked with 5 governors. I've had the best working relationship governor with you.
Ganim's political rebirth came after a 9-year prison sentence for federal corruption charges.
What do you say to people who have suggested that your endorsement of Joe is an endorsement of fraud and corruption?
That was then, now's now. Everybody deserves that second chance, and give them a fresh look.
So why would a popular governor risk his reputation in a messy race tied to election fraud? Enter Mario Testa, the powerful boss of Bridgeport's Democratic Party. He sent this letter to state party officials demanding they back Ganim, saying after decades of delivering Democratic victories in state and national elections, he has the right to expect the full support of his brothers and sisters.
Did Mario Testa's influence have anything to do with your endorsement?
I haven't talked to Mario in many months.
Ganim's opponent, John Gomes, says the governor is sending the wrong message.
He's saying okay to accept the corruption by the Democratic Town Committee, its chairperson, Mario Testa, in awarding those for the crimes they've committed.
Mario Testa and the Bridgeport Democratic Town Committee are now the subject of an ethics complaint that alleges Testa has been running the committee like a secret society, conducting backroom deals. We reached out to Testa for a response, but have not heard back. Reporting in Bridgeport, Matt Caron, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
A former Winchester Board of Ed member is facing charges for allegedly engaging in an inappropriate relationship with a minor. Shane Deschamps is facing risk of injury charges. The investigation started back in November, according to the arrest warrant. He was known to the victim's family and served as a mentor. According to those documents, Deschamps has denied the relationship and refused to turn over phone data or take a polygraph test. He resigned from the Winchester Board of Ed last month.
A man suspected of stealing from a Big Y supermarket has been arrested after hitting a police cruiser multiple times during a pursuit in Enfield. Police saying they chased Stephen Pinto after he stole something from the store. Pinto allegedly hit a cruiser on I-91 southbound after they used a tire deflation device to stop his car. Police say he also tried to reach under his passenger seat for what they later found out was a large machete.
One person has to be rescued from a house fire in New Britain. The fire broke out this afternoon at a home on Dover Road. Fire crews rescued a person trapped on the second floor. They were taken to the hospital, but their condition hasn't been released. The fire was knocked out in about an hour. The cause remains under investigation. Turning to the weather now, another sunny but chilly day.
Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us now. Rach, soon we lose both, right?
Yeah, we've got more clouds coming in tomorrow, and eventually we have some rain to talk about. And when that rain is first beginning tomorrow evening, there could be a brief mix in spots. We'll be watching that for tomorrow night. In the meantime, though, we are looking fine tonight. Temperatures in the mid-30s out there, currently upper 30s, though, for the New Haven area. And heading through the evening tonight, we will eventually see clouds increase a little bit, and those increasing clouds will continue through the course of the day tomorrow. Looking at temperatures tonight, we'll be settling back into the 20s instead of the teens and single digits like we have the last few nights and following mornings. So not quite as cold. Overall, we're looking at a mix of clouds and sun. High temperatures climbing into the lower and even perhaps some middle 40s, although I think low 40s for most of the state will do it. And then heading into tomorrow evening, we'll see a rising chance for showers, and some of them could contain a bit of signs of winter with some snowflakes mixed in or even the chance for a few sleet pellets. But we are mostly talking about rain heading into the day on Friday. We'll talk more about that and some much warmer numbers ahead for next week. Actually really impressive coming up in just a bit.
Well, new tonight, the Hartford Mayor's office is continuing to shine a light on housing issues.
Now city leaders want to make it easier for tenants to submit complaints about problems happening in their buildings.
Fox 61 political reporter Emma Wolfhorst spoke with the mayor about what the city is doing. She joins us now in studio with more. Emma.
Brent, Sarah, Hartford is creating a liaison for housing at City Hall, one streamlined place where all housing-related complaints can go. Mayor Arulampulam says this concept was born from tenants and activists speaking up.
Neighbors without heat, families that can't store food in the house because of rodents and insects.
Housing quality a major issue in the city of Hartford.
Roofs that lead to problems within the building, electrical, mold, and other things. Pest infestation is a problem. Pest infestation treatment is necessary in a lot of our buildings.
Now the city is creating a one-stop shop for tenants who experience unsafe and unlawful living conditions.
We want to give tenants the resources they need to understand their rights, to understand what their avenues are.
Hartford is creating a new position, the liaison for housing.
We are addressing blight, we are addressing criminal activity, and now it's time to directly address those landlords who do not keep their properties in the proper way.
Rothschild will serve as the liaison for housing, with all tenant complaints now going to one place. Mayor Arulampulam says the city is compensating her for the extra duties, as well as bringing over support staff to assist.
We wanted to create one line of triage of those complaints to make sure they get to the appropriate places, but also to make sure that residents in really difficult conditions are being heard, that their needs are being met, that we are being as responsive as we can as a city.
The city also allocated $750,000 to the Greater Hartford Legal Aid to support free legal assistance for tenants.
They may feel lost. What is my best first step? It is better, if possible, to talk to an attorney early in the process. Advice, tenants' rights, court procedure. We are here.
And Mayor Arulampulam says the city will be tracking how many complaints the new housing liaison's office is getting, and will then determine during this budget cycle if more resources are needed. The numbers for Hartford's housing liaison office will be on our website at fox61.com.